from Significant. This is Crack It in an Hour.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Crack It in an Hour. I'm Simon.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Roman.
And for those of you who know, you know it is one problem to crack in 1 hour, once a week. Two people have no idea what the problem is. One person, this week me, knows what the problem is. I'm going to kind of set it up and then we're going to crack it. Are you ready?
So ready.
I'm so ready.
All right.
Do you think we should put like how this podcast works in the jingle at the beginning?
Oh, that's
we
fun.
could. That's an evolution
New
of the
Year's
jingle.
jingle.
So you don't have to repeat it every time?
Yeah.
I
So
like that.
here we go. I mean, sometimes, let's start the clock. Roman's got an actual countdown clock now.
Wow.
Oh my God, you
Production
guys.
value is going crazy on this,
Look at
guys.
that.
It's insane. What's it called? A lot of times I find a lot of joy in sort of stranger topics.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's see if we can go here.
Let's see if we can get America
Let's
to
see
drink
if I can find
again.
this. And then, I like to be contrarian sometimes, or I like business problems and stuff like that. This one is literally like the laziest big fat meatball.
Oh God.
I love it.
That is like, all right, let's just do this. So
Good old January meatball.
that's it. So it's December right now, but if you're listening, it's January. We are the three of us right now in the time warp of podcast releases are about to go into the holidays. But when we're listening to this, we're going to be coming out of the holidays. And with that comes the new year. And with the new year comes
Resolutions.
That's right.
Dork.
All right. I guess this one is going to be released the first week of January.
So there you go. So here's the
call that a
problem,
content
everybody.
calendar.
And I'm sure you already know this. About 42%, or sorry, that's not even right. About 45% of Americans make a New Year's resolution. 45% of the entire population make a New Year's resolution. The amount of people who actually follow through on their New Year's resolution is only 9%. 9% success rate on New Year's resolutions. So the question is, how do we help people succeed? How do we up the success level of New Year's resolutions? Because
Just stop making
Okay.
resolutions.
do you want me to kind of provide a little
Let's fucking go.
little
Data
bit
dump.
of data dump here? Okay. Only 9% of people who make a resolution are successful. 23% of people quit within the first week, and about 43% give up by the end of January. 80%-ish are done by February. So it's really, really tough sledding out there. Fun fact, resolution making is higher in younger people. 18 to 29 are biggest at resolution making. 50 plus, a lot lower. However, older people tend to be better at following through on their resolution than younger people. The reasons resolutions fail. Are you ready? Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to start having some hot takes?
No, tell me. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I'm curious. Do you know, or do you have what the top 5 resolutions are?
I didn't look into that. I'm sorry.
Wow.
But there's actually a
such
problem.
a Canadian.
That was a
sorry.
very
So
Canadian
intense.
sorry.
There's a one data point I did find is that generally speaking, identity-based goals are better than just picking a goal. So for example, if you said in 2026, I want to be a runner, that has a higher probability of success than saying, I want to run a 5K.
Oh,
Really?
That's
Yes.
interesting.
Okay,
Yes.
let's unpack that.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
There is something that is the all or nothing mentality
Yes.
that apparently gets in the way of a lot of resolutions succeeding.
Totally.
Which is, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to be dogmatic about doing this. And this actually runs headfirst into the fact that, do you know how long they say habit formation takes?
Yes,
21
days.
If you really want to reinforce it, it's 66 days. So you gotta move into March before you're going to make something a proper habit. And that's the problem, right? Is like basically all of these things aren't even making it past
Right.
the first month.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the running example is a really interesting one though, because you could classify yourself as a runner, but never run a 5K race.
That's right.
Ever.
And so
Exactly.
I think it's interesting that, on an emotional level, I think it's really interesting that just the idea of identifying yourself as something
I'm gonna
versus
become a blank.
identifying a goal
Yes.
probably just has a broader emotional attachment.
Totally.
But then also it creates so much more flexibility in
Yes.
what it means, how you get there, when you get there. It's not as rigid as like, well, and I think what happens, this is true for so many things. The minute you fail, quote unquote, fail at something is the minute you stop trying
That's
to
right.
do it.
That's totally right.
And I think that when you set a goal that's so rigid and then you don't achieve it in the time frame or in the way that you thought you would, you stop everything.
Exactly.
And I think people are like, it's positive reinforcement, right? People are more encouraged by something that they know they'll be good at
Yeah.
and that they feel like they can achieve.
Yeah, totally.
It's funny because I get your logic and I may be able to agree.
Okay, Roman. However,
I think I agree. However, I have something that's might be in the spectrum of the opposite of what you're saying, which is
that's the friendliest way to say I disagree.
First of all, I think
The
small.
spectrum of what you're saying.
First of all, I think small doesn't have a good reputation, and we need to change that because
Small changes.
yes,
I agree.
and because I think like when you say I want to be, let's say your goal is I'm going to be a runner in 2026. I think that's a little too big and too lofty for it to be able to get there. And I think if you said, I'm going to run 1K every Saturday, which is achievable.
I think that sounds harder.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Like I think what I'm trying to say is we need to reframe what
small.
achievement is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because I think like when you say like many people, I don't know the percentage, their resolutions are around health and wellness.
And
Yeah.
I'm
that's
gonna
part of the
eat
problem.
less of this. I'm going to do
Yeah.
more of a workout. I'm going to do blah, blah. So let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Let's stay in that spectrum. If your goal is to like put more muscle on,
Yeah.
and so therefore you're thinking, shit, I'm going to have to go to the gym and have a coach
Yeah.
and lift some weights. But I think we need to we need to change the conversation. So the goal could be as simple as I'm going to do 5 minutes of something every morning.
Yeah.
5 minutes of something in the spectrum of in the land of 24 hours is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and if you do nothing and every morning you do 5 minutes of push-ups and squats, then you're going to do 10 minutes 3 weeks in, and then you're going to
Yeah.
get addicted, and then
Yeah.
you're off and rolling. And before you know it, you're going to have
Yeah.
a coach and lift some weights. So I think like the incremental steps, the small things are never talked about.
No, they aren't.
And I think that's the way to start. It's not like, oh, I'm going to cut all sugar from my diet.
Totally.
Well, this is this is proven over and over again, like in anything that somebody outside of New Year's resolutions and anything that somebody wants to achieve, if you create so much restriction in your life,
Yeah.
it's inevitable that like after 2 or 3 weeks,
Totally.
you're going to go the complete opposite direction because you've been depriving yourself.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
like, I'm never going to eat dessert for the rest of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, in
Sure.
3 weeks, I'm eating like 5
actually-
slices of cake because like,
There's something kind of in this world that is something that we've spoken about on this pod that is part and parcel to a problem with New Year's resolutions, which is generally speaking, when part of the reasons for the failure is when the resolutions are made, people are often hungover, tired, out of shape, over partied.
yeah.
And this
yeah,
actually
they're
does
from a mindset.
because it's from
yeah.
a mindset. It's
Yeah.
not from the mindset of like,
That's such a good point.
okay, I'm doing pretty
That's
good.
so
What can I
interesting.
do a little bit better? You're like, I gotta stop drinking because I've been drinking for 3 days straight. You know what
It's
I mean?
such a good point.
And so that, as a result, has an impact on the failure level because these become too crazy.
So basically, resolutions should happen in July.
well, I mean,
They shouldn't be New Year's resolutions.
This is another part of the problem too, is that it's just an arbitrary time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's always nice. Like it makes sense. It's like a set moment of new beginnings ahead of you. But it is true. Like from Thanksgiving through New Year's, you're just like eating more than normal, drinking more than normal, partying more than normal. And so, you're coming
your
from a place of like,
and your mind are not where they normally are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have read about, I guess this is also true with like any goal. I forget there's a name for it, but when people say the resolution out loud or when they post about it, then they feel like they're being held accountable to it. And
true.
so it's like a trick that people will use on themselves. Like I'm going to tell everybody that I'm going to run a marathon this year because now if I don't, like how embarrassing for me because I went and told everybody that's what I was doing.
Yeah. We talked about that with Alex in Dubai, if you remember, on the pod. And we were like,
I can't remember.
And the flip side of it is like some people are going to post, I'm running a marathon.
Oh, and just by posting it, they're like,
I've run it.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Never tell anyone.
That was great.
But it is an interesting, I don't know. There's positives and negatives to that in my mind of like the idea of being held accountable because I also think that you should be able to change your resolutions if you want to.
Can you, I'm trying to think through the how do you say that in English? The let's say the origins of the word to understand really the definition of resolution. What is it? Does it imply change?
Resolution?
Yeah.
Man, I should probably have a better answer for this.
Okay,
That's I'll just
give you my personal take. I've banned that word from my lexicon.
Yeah.
Because to me, it implies going from a negative to a positive. And so I talk about goals or objectives or whatever. Don't get me started on the definition of each of them. But I talked about goals every year for myself, with my wife, Amelie, with the kids. And I don't talk about resolution because I think resolution has that weird baggage of getting rid of a negative and a goal is just running towards something.
Yeah. I stopped doing resolutions and started doing intentions.
Yeah.
Like setting 3 intentions for the year. And like that, very productive, I think. I was actually thinking about this when you first brought up the topic, Simon, but I wonder if a lot of people have stopped making resolutions in favor when I think about the rise of like vision boarding. And
is that still popular?
I think so.
Is it?
I think so. I mean, if not, there's another version of it now. Like I think
some
right?
way of
like,
manifesting.
For sure.
Yeah, it's AI vision boarding.
Yeah, manifesting vision.
Secret? The Secret made it really popular, right?
Totally.
And what? Do you remember The Secret? Were you part of North America at that point yet?
Say more. Not yet.
It was this book that was, I mean, I don't want to upset anyone who's like a big believer in The Secret. The Secret was basically this book. It was on like Oprah's book club and everything. And they're like, we figured it out, like how you can manifest your dreams into the real world. And basically it was like karma. Like, it's like, if you do good and you act good, good things kind of happen to you, but you got to kind of set a vision to doing them. Right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like it wasn't like a great unlock. It was kind of
it's
like,
amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I know I'm generalizing a bit, but if you have a better take or explanation of The Secret, please send it in. Cause that was always kind of my understanding of it.
I would love if you just pissed a lot of people off
by trying to define The Secret.
Because you said, I don't want to piss anyone off.
And then I just did.
I want him to piss people off with The Secret.
You really upset people off with The Secret. But that was that was a big moment when everyone was like, "Oh, let's make vision boards because that'll help me bring it to life."
I do think it's interesting because I wonder if the numbers. I wonder if resolutions. The statistics have always been true that people like don't keep up with their resolutions. I think the best example of that is like the gym membership spike that you always have at the beginning of January. And by the end of January, the gym is basically back to its normal, regularly scheduled
you signed up for 12 months. So
too bad.
It's a 12-month contract.
But I also wonder if more people have been shifting into manifesting and building vision boards and creating intentions, which is sort of just a macro shift in what you're saying, Roman, of like how we maybe resolutions have actually had more of a negative impact on our life because it implies we're doing something wrong. And then it also creates a sense of failure when you don't live up to it versus just giving yourself some goals or intentions for the year and letting the year sort of take its course and see. And you can come when you've lost your way a little bit, you can come back and like remind yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I mean, your question is, how do we get people to
Well,
stick
have you
to their
ever had?
resolutions?
Let me ask. Let's talk for this for a second. Have you ever had a resolution or a goal, or let's open up the vernacular a little bit. Have you ever had one come true, or have one that go like, yeah, I really followed through on that one, that you can think of?
I mean,
not one I want to share, but yes.
Yes. Okay.
You're gonna fucking hate me, but a ton.
Yeah. Okay. So when they go well,
like, you idiot.
When they go,
I'm
well, let's
so
start.
good at setting goals and living up to them.
No, I'm not good at setting
kidding.
goals. I just like to fucking commit.
Yeah, I know,
okay.
that's
So
true.
let's talk about that, because this is an easy way to start the conversation on how we help people when they succeed. What's the ingredients to success?
Good question.
Small steps.
Small steps. So you can't start and say, I'm going to climb Everest. You're saying, I gotta try walking on an incline at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
exactly
almost
right.
And then it's like, all right, I'm walking on an incline. Well, let's keep getting more inclined and let's keep going. And then now I'm going up Mount Whitney, and you know what I mean?
But what about, but I agree. Small steps for sure. Very tactical, but on a more abstract level, I think it's really hard to talk about this without talking about motivation.
Yeah.
And where motivation comes from. Because you're a highly motivated person, Roman.
Yeah.
So like when you set a goal, you're like, yeah, let's
fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Let's commit. And you're almost in a game with yourself at that point to figure out how to make it happen. I think for a lot of people, a resolution is sometimes a way to motivate themselves. And so they're not starting from a place of motivation or intent. They're hoping the resolution will sort of spark a motivation within them. And so I think there's almost a question before the question, which is like, how do you
motivated?
Yeah. How do you inspire and motivate people? And what you were saying, Roman, almost reframe what success versus failure versus resolution versus positive change is before you can even have the conversation about helping people stick to a resolution.
So you just said something that is like that I've never actually shared, but it's how I operate. I think it's a pretty hot take. I'm going to get some shit for this. I think everything in life that is not life or death is a game.
Oh, me too. I agree.
And if you start approaching it that way, it changes everything.
Totally.
Every day.
Do you know how many fun side quests there are in life?
Like
everything's a game.
Every single thing.
In your head, you're playing a game with everything?
And you lose some, you win some. And so, yeah, like everything that is not life or death.
At all points
the moment
in time.
there's like health and things, okay, like the game it's not a game anymore.
Right.
But everything else is. And so to me, setting up goals,
I think some things
for
are
the
a game.
year.
It's hard for me to say everything is a
Jesse
game.
literally just said you end up playing a game with yourself. You're so motivated. That's what you said to me. That's exactly what I do. I'm like, I have that goal and I'm going to play that game till I win it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a particular type.
Yeah.
But
That's
but I
interesting.
agree.
Like
I agree.
I don't think we could, like you asked what motivates people. I don't think we could say that's a baseline motivation for all of humanity.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a baseline motivation for the competitive humanity.
Yes.
Which is
a lot.
Big segment of the population.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but I don't know how to define it, but if we could run a study to understand the percentage of the population that is quote unquote competitive, because people say, oh, you're so competitive. Like most people are.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but most people. I would guarantee you the majority, more than 50% of the adult population, and not even adult, has some level of competitiveness inside them.
There's a lot of things I do find playing as a game is very helpful for, but I don't think I could say across everything to that level, if that makes sense. Like, and I imagine the things I'm probably most competitive and most kind of trying to be intentionally competitive on, I would subscribe to that. But I don't know if I could say it across everything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a few things. Okay, maybe I stretched it a little far. That's fair.
Yeah.
But like family and
I don't know if I could say
like
if I want to fall in love, I don't know if I see that as,
that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
Could be.
But, yeah.
I think that's going to take you some, personally, I don't think that would be the best way for me to approach it.
Yeah.
No, but that's fair. There is more exclusions than what I said. There are more exclusions than what I said. But
I think it's just a mentality though. Like it's just a mentality of like, if you start to think about, I think talking about things being a game makes it feel insincere, but I think the truth is it's just a mentality of like, okay, I'm here. That thing I want is there. How am I going to do it? And there's a playfulness. I think why I totally agree with you is because I think any challenge I face, I can, not always, but sometimes can find like, fun is my motivation. So then I'm always like, all right, how do I find a little bit of playfulness and trying to get from here to there in a way? Cause that's what's going to motivate me.
Yeah.
And I think it makes life fun. I think
I totally get it. But if we're talking about what motivates people,
that's not the baseline.
We're trying to figure out like a motivation for people.
Status.
Are we back? Are we back with the hot strategy? Like how many times are we going to talk about it? Yeah. I mean, Jesse's strategy is always like, it's right on. People are motivated. Like there's a vanity component in everyone. And it's like, it's part of human motivation.
I mean, why do you think the majority of resolutions are
around
fitness and diet related?
So it's funny, more women skew more towards health and wellness. Men skew more towards finance.
Money. Get rich, get hot.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's obvious now that you say it, but I'm like, no, but it's true because it's more important. It's actually more important to be healthy and to be rich. And as usual, like, women are right.
Yeah, but that's great. Men get rich and then die young. And then women get all their money.
I'm not going to comment on that. There's so many layers to that comment that I'm not going there. Motivation. So back to it.
How many people do you think just don't like, you brought up a really interesting point, which is that idea of a lot of people hope that the wishing for it is going to do the hard work for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By putting it out there.
Part of me wonders is like, how many people really understand how to motivate themselves?
Or how many people make resolutions as groups? Like when I started doing the intention thing, I actually started doing it because somebody else introduced the concept to me. And then the last 2 or 3 years, I've done it with 2 of my closest friends and we do it together. And not only does it make it more meaningful, but also it's not like I just sat and wrote it down. Then I'm like, all right, cool. Like we talked about it and they asked questions about it. Like, what does that mean to you? And then I think when it became more of like a social, not that they then held me accountable throughout the year, but it sort of became like a social activity more than just like or like instead of it being like a thing I've now added to my to-do list. I mean, I think that's actually a really important part. Like people are exhausted. Mm-hmm. We hear about burnout all the time. And I think unfortunately, things like resolutions have really good intent, but they end up feeling like something else on your to-do list. And now it's a burden. And the minute it's a burden, it's like exhausting. But if you make it with a friend and you guys have it together, even the same one, I think the way that you can motivate each other and like if go to the gym together or whatever the resolution is, I think that could go a long way potentially.
Do you think you force thoughtfulness into it when you have it? Like I don't know the ritual of how you do it together, but like, do you think it's partially that like, it sounds like from my perspective, you guys sit and you chat, you have some conversations around it. Whereas I imagine a lot of them are like people look down at their waistline and go like, I want to lose 20 pounds this year.
Yeah.
And does that thoughtfulness actually help it
stick? I think, yes. I think it goes back to what Roman said is like, people should be far less harsh with themselves.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who is often very harsh on themselves. Like, right. I think if you start from a place of looking down and being like, oof, I should lose 20 pounds, like, damn, that's a that's a pretty tough mindset to start from. You're basically telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I need to change this negative to a positive. I need to change myself. And you've now put yourself in a position where you've like knocked yourself down 3 pegs to build yourself 5 pegs back.
Right.
Like, I don't think that ever helps. I mean, some people are motivated by that. Like, I know I played a lot of sports growing up. I experienced a lot of different coaches. And I had coaches that would like their way of motivating you was screaming at you, telling you what a piece of shit you were. Totally. And like, and then you had the coaches that were hard on you, but they cared.
Love.
There was tough love and they cared. And that was always better for me than someone just screaming at me. And so motivation is an interesting conversation because I think there are segmentations of people, I think, motivated by different things.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I also think the thing you just said about people being hard on themselves and actually goals, like there's certain goals that are not being put on the same playing field as other ones, but they should be. So say when you taking back the example you guys took around, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds. This is going to be put as a goal that's immediately achievable when having like 2 promotions or starting and selling a company is going to be put as something that's going to be done in the next 5-10 years.
Right.
But losing 20 pounds shouldn't be something that's achievable in the next 6 months. So like you need to like reframe certain things. You're like, what do you do if you want to start and sell a company? It's not going to happen in the next 6 months. It's step by step. It's every day. Sometimes it's every week. It's strategic. There's a lot of conversation. Yeah. And I think most things need to have a bit of, to your point, it needs to be a little thoughtful. It shouldn't be like
this
just
is interesting.
Boom, 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 go. It's like, okay, why?
That's the question I think that's missing, because I think it goes back to your small steps point, but it's bigger than that, which is I think there should be some sort of like national program. I don't know. We'll build an app. You like building apps, Simon. We'll build an app.
I smell a framework.
But no, it's not a framework, but I think the idea of losing 20 pounds should be banned as a resolution. And if you start from that, somebody is like, well, why? And you're like, well, I don't feel like the best version of myself. I don't like what I look in the mirror. Okay, well, what is that affecting in your life?
Right.
Well, I just want to feel good in my body, and I want to be able to keep up with my family when we go on I'm like, okay, that's your resolution. The scale doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to shift the achievement, I think, from a specific metric to a feeling.
Yes.
And I think that would really help because I think that's it not only is far more motivating, but it also really gets at the intention and the heart of like what it is, why you want that thing in the first place.
That's also the identity-based goal thing. You know what I mean? I want to be a healthy person rather than I want to lose 20 pounds.
I'm afraid to say someone coined it already, but start with why.
Start with why?
Yeah.
Who coined that? What is
Simon
that?
Sinek. It's like I think it was his first thing in the why, how, what. But it is real. I 100% agree.
If you were to, that's just because you took that. And that's an interesting thing. I thought of like, if you were to make an app that was like, we're going to call it Resolution Bot, and it's going to help people follow through with the bots.
If we're about feelings, maybe
Resolution Buddy.
Resolution Buddy. There you go. Exactly. What would it do? Well, how would it work? Like, I'll give you the bad example right now is you'd have to enter your resolution. It would immediately flip it into why. A why. That's a goal for betterment rather than a hard and fast number.
I think before that, it has to, I mean, my God, you could do this with ChatGPT, but like you have to go through a series of 5 questions that ask you, that try to understand why you've set that goal in the first place, and then it would flip it.
And it would also ask like, are you hungover? Are you depressed?
Yeah,
like,
and then it's like, come back in 3
when
days.
You've had like a few days to recover. Now let's start talking.
I love the idea that
would be a good first question.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Literally, it locks you out of the app.
You got to take a blood alcohol test. It's like, sorry, you're still you got a little buzz going. We can't make any big decisions.
And
for
the
the year
app
right
locks
now.
for 72 hours and you literally cannot log back
That
in
would be
until
so good.
3 days later.
And then you come back in, you're like, okay,
I think we cracked it.
I'm recovered. What do we want to do? You go, I want to lose 30 pounds. He goes, why? And
Why?
you're like, I want to feel better. It's like, okay, you don't want to lose 30 pounds. You want to feel better in your body. That's what we're going to try and do.
Yeah,
Do you
and
know
it's
that this
plugged
is,
into to your personal LLM that you use every day, so it knows you a little bit.
Yeah,
And then
totally.
We cracked it. That's it.
And then what does it do every
agentic
day?
resolution.
The agentic
The
resolution.
agentic and what does it do every day? Is it I think the thing you're saying is little steps,
And
right?
then it walks you. Then it gives you the program.
And then if the rather than checking in based on like metric based achievements, if every week it asks you, how do you feel today? Like
See, this
every
is
Monday, it was checking in on like your
That's cool.
emotional state, your feeling. I think it's so much more liberating and telling on the progress you're making versus like, because my God, I mean, weight, I know we keep talking about weight, but it is a very popular resolution, but like it is one of the most obnoxious, fucked up things out there because you could fly on a plane and your weight's going to go up 5 pounds because of water retention.
I mean, this honestly is like, if I go and have like an all-inclusive where I'm eating for a week, I can gain 10 pounds.
Easily.
No problem.
But it's not even real weight. I'm talking about just the general fluctuation
I fluctuate
of like
5 pounds in a day
easily. And
Yeah.
so it's such a messed up system for tracking
Totally.
achievement that I think it goes back to what you said at the very beginning around small steps, but I think it's even bigger than that. It's not just breaking it
You're
down.
taking it another level. You're making it not just small, but personalized.
Personalized
because-
and feeling based more than metric based.
which is personalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I would
but
love that.
There are some resolutions that aren't that.
Yeah.
We went straight to
Do you know what I
like
mean?
health
We
and
went
It's
to
a
the
wellness.
popular
one,
one. Yeah,
you know
it's
what
a
I mean?
popular one.
And like that's another interesting part too. There's another thing that's like I really do think about, which is like if someone we almost approach resolutions like a psychopath would approach running a marathon. You know what I mean? Where
Exactly.
it's like, I'm
Exactly.
going to run a marathon. Tomorrow I will run 26.2. And you're like, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I
You know
meant.
what I mean?
Like,
It's
the
like,
goals are not on an
Run
even
5
playing field.
miles. Then the next day run 6 miles. And then by next week, try to get up to 8 miles. And like, that's how you run a marathon. But for some reason with resolutions, the culture of resolution is like, I am flipped and now I'm
Okay,
not.
but can I
gonna
give
lose 30
you
pounds in 2 months?
Can
You're
I
like,
give
wait,
you
what?
an interesting example? Okay, so we're all runners.
Yep.
I think I was the newest to
You're the
join
newest, correct.
the runner club. And I always was like, I can't run. I mean, I ran
Yeah, I remember that.
I ran to play sports.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, I literally can't run. I'm just not good at it. I can't do it. And Roman, when you were training for the marathon, you said something to me that completely changed my entire perspective on running. And I swear to God, I'm convinced it's the thing that helped me go from not running to running, which was every time I tried to go out for a run, I would be like, all right, just go try to run 3 miles. And guess what? I couldn't.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, well, you suck.
Totally.
Not going to do that again.
Yeah.
That was bad. And you said, stop thinking about a distance and just go for time.
Yeah.
Just go out and like run 15, be like, I'm going to just go for 15 minutes. It doesn't matter how far you go, which means you could run as slow as you want. It was just like, now go for 30 minutes. Now be like, I'm going to run for 45 minutes. And when I shifted my thinking away from, it's still a metric based like measurement.
And
but
you're keeping track. You can't help
But it was
yourself.
no longer about a traditional, like I was no longer holding myself to the same system of somebody who had been doing it for months and years. I was just like, and then when I started to feel like, wow, I ran for 20 minutes, go me. I was suddenly having positive experience, and then
To me, that's the example of like it's a game and you just set your own rules. There's no one telling you how to do it, what to do, what the goal is, what winning means. That's not in the nomenclature of the games I'm talking about. It's like you just set your own rules. And that's the perfect example of it. And now next thing you know, Jesse comes back on Monday morning from weekend. It's cool. I run a half marathon in West Cycle on Saturday. Just strolling by myself. Got hit by a car a couple of times. It was good.
I do run into street signs every now and then. No, but it's what made me think of it is that you can even use sometimes, I think, like a measurement based system, but you can create one that works, that pulls you out of the comparative structure that exists, which gives you more of this like positive reinforcement that you can do it. So I think it's interesting to think about that in addition to the more emotional reframing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I also think I can't help but go back to the more people make resolutions when they're younger thing. Because when you're younger, you're a little crazier, a little more ambitious. And I have a feeling part of the problem is that those people, the reason people 50 plus are better at making resolutions and following through on them than younger is their resolutions are less extreme.
Yeah,
you know
they're more intentional.
They're more intentional. And like honestly,
Yeah.
even my resolutions now are like, oh man, like a resolution I had last year was like, man, I got to hang out with more people who make me laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not like,
that's awesome.
I got to lose 30 pounds tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's like, it's like things. And also like side note, like I like my life. So like, it's not like I'm looking for like big swings at this point. You know what I mean? Like
what's your range of resolutions usually from like people to make you laugh to
like, it is usually like at this point in life, it is honestly like I've set the course. Now I'm adjusting.
Yeah. That's
you
awesome.
know what I mean? Like it is literally like, I gotta find like right now, honestly, it's more people like I want to hang out with based and like hobby based, like stuff to do with my free time.
Awesome.
But it's not like, wow, I got to get off heroin. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not having.
Not anymore. Yeah. That happened a few years ago.
That was bad. That was bad.
What about you, Jesse? What's your kind of range of?
Oof. I don't know if this is,
you don't want to go there?
I don't know if I can go there.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. What about you?
It's kind of more similar to you. I know all the work stuff is taken care of anyway. I'm not setting any goals for work in my life. Oh, what? No, that's
just life too.
And that's just like, I want to do it every day. Like I don't need to find a thing, a plan, whatever. Like the three of us are setting plans in motion for next year. Boom. Like there's I don't need that motivation there. I think it's ranges from things similar to you around having more fun. Like a couple of years ago, I had, I'm gonna focus more on the relationships that matter, if that makes sense. Like spending more of my free time with the people who I know there's a lot of mutual respect and love and a lot of investment long-term in that relationship. There was a bit of that.
That's a very like mature perspective.
There's always a thing related to, for me, that's the one resolution I never completely crack is like a little less social media. And I'm not an addict. I don't spend that much time, but even not that much time, I think is too much time. I see myself too many times throughout the year having my phone in the living room when two of my kids are on the couch just next to me. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? There's always a bit of that. And then similarly, like creating family time, moments of share, like, things like that.
Totally.
And there's always some sports thing in there.
Like I got to try and do this.
This year was like, I've always hated swimming. I got to make swimming part of my habits. It's my only way to recovery.
Really?
I'm going to make swimming
is good for recovery.
So that was the thing.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I had like a really bad bout of depression? Did I ever tell you this?
I think
yes, but I don't know what branch this story is taken.
It has nowhere to go with this thing. So I don't know if we need to bring it up.
All right,
just wanted to make sure you knew.
Just wanted to make sure you guys were aware.
I do.
Basically, long story short, I got prescribed swimming and it worked.
Oh, you did that? You did say that?
Yeah.
I do. I will bring up this one. I will not share my full range, but because I mentioned that I identify as somebody who can be very harsh with themselves, every year I have a resolution to be kinder to myself. Every single year. I've tried over the years to get more specific with it.
Have you gotten better?
Yeah, but you need,
No, it's the one I haven't cracked.
That's a big, okay. So let's crack.
Let's apply.
Yeah.
So why, Jesse?
No,
Yes.
and we turned too many episodes into a therapy session. Like,
Okay, so let's not get into the why in your like personal therapy, but let's get into the how then. Else. Maybe we can get into the small steps.
Well, because I think with something like that, you need to build the habit of being nicer to yourself. And that's an easy habit to forget about.
Can I tell you one of the reasons I haven't been able to crack it? I look at, I have convinced myself so deeply that it is part of my own internalized like motivation structure.
Okay. So it's like part of your identity now?
Not part of my identity, but I like look at all I've achieved and I look at how I got there and I'm like, well, I mean, part of how...
Rewind this conversation 7 minutes ago. Can you talk about the type of coaching that works for you in sports?
Yeah, tough love.
Yeah, you said there's two types of coaches. The ones who are like real dicks.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I'm more of a real dick to myself.
But you're the real dick to yourself and not the tough love to yourself. So
that's
maybe
a good observation.
Maybe just look at what kind of coaching works on you and apply it.
But I've always, that's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think when you, like, I can remember throughout my career having bosses, for example, that would always say to me, like, you need to find more balance. You need to find more balance. And I'd be like, what are you, nuts? Like what you're promoting me left and right.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to tell me that what got me here now I need to stop doing? And so I think it's been a very ingrained part of how I think I get to great.
I think you're first of all, it sounds like you're defending it and you're combining a lot of things and assuming it's all part of it. And I don't think it is. Like you can work hard and still be good to yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I recognize this.
This is the best 10 minutes of the history of Crack It in an Hour. Like, this is like Crack It in a lifetime, but in 10 minutes. Yeah. This is fantastic.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Jesse's therapy session.
Every time, guys.
Who knew resolutions would take us there?
But because I know what you mean, which is like everyone has their secrets. If you've had success in life, it's tough to walk away from what's made you successful for better or for worse.
Yeah.
The thing that it's just all my thoughts and no proof of this is that like you need to figure out what are the parts that actually matter and what are the parts that don't. Like I don't personally, I don't think that if Jesse is a little less hard on herself, she's still not going to be working like crazy. Yeah. I just think it might be a little less stressful.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think one is 100% equated to the other.
It's not a complete correlation. Like you might actually remove a part. It's
like you can work you can work as a sous chef 16 hours a day, but some kitchens are going to be easier to work in than others. You know what I mean? Like it's just as simple as that. I'm sorry.
Well,
I know I can feel you.
It's great. And I brought it up, but I will say not to pivot it away from my therapy session, which is excellent, but what you were talking about and this conversation also makes me think about how much emphasis we put on resolution and not enough emphasis on reflection.
Yes, that's a good point.
Like, how much more valuable could it be at the end of the year to look back? And I don't think we reach the end of the year and we're like, now what do I need to do next? And how do I need to be better? And what am I going to do next year? And how do I keep growing? And and that's great. I love that. But what about look at everything I've done?
Totally.
Like, I think we don't spend enough
very hard
time.
To do. It's very hard for me to do.
Here's where I think, first of all, thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this episode. Here's where I think American culture is fantastic, is because I think Thanksgiving is the look back moment.
Yeah, that's true.
And then 4 weeks later, you have the end of the year.
That's
5 weeks later, and that's the look forward moment. And you literally have
Why do you think it's a look back moment?
Thanksgiving is about finding what you're grateful for.
Right.
And to me, finding what you're grateful for is like looking at everything you have in your life, not just the year, but it includes the year.
Yeah.
Because it happens every 12 months.
Yeah.
And there's always that moment as a family or with your friends, whatever your setup is, even just inside your own head. Most people will go through it because it's part of the cultural conversation. Yeah. And then you have literally that buffer in between that lets you just go through your life. And then again, like, okay, what about the future now? And I think that's fantastic.
I agree.
In terms of how
But I think there's a gap because I think inherently when you talk about what you're grateful for, people think it's selfish to acknowledge their own accomplishments in that. It's always about other people.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like you should be grateful for what you have and the people around you and the role they have. But you're not going to sit, if you have a Thanksgiving table and everyone's like, what are you grateful for? You're not going to be like that I became a runner this year.
I went running every weekend.
That's like, wow, it's a little much about you.
Right.
So I just, either you need to, I agree with it's a beautiful cadence. And I wonder if we just need to introduce even in the moment. And I bring it up because I think that if you can also take a moment to look at everything that you have done, it could potentially help you stick to the next resolution because it reminds you of what you're capable of.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I did do all of that. I did do that. I did that and I never even set a resolution around it, but look at what I did. So like, I just think there needs to be a little moment to like actually acknowledge you and what you've done.
So after it asks,
that's
are
great.
you sober? If you say yes, the first thing it says is think a little bit about the last year.
Yeah.
What have you accomplished?
Yeah.
And then you go from there.
And then you bring the resolution and then it asks you why. And then it reframes it as an emotional identity driven
I think
goal.
you need a couple of days in between.
Yeah.
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 I need to
for sure.
Think about, reflect on
accomplishments.
what you succeeded.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll lock you out. Yeah.
I think that would work.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, it would be harder with more intangible goals. You know
What's
what
an
I mean?
example of an intangible? Like I want to be happier.
Less lonely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like something like that would
That
be
feels
like
tangible to me though.
That's tangible.
That's tangible, I guess. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what an intangible.
But it's
I want to be happier.
I want to be happier.
That's a little intangible.
I want to fall in love is a little intangible.
But still, if you unpacked it, if the app is smart enough to really unpack your life, they could probably find some
be like, well,
easy
it makes
pockets
you happy.
of.
Cool, man. There's a pinball
exactly.
machine down the street. Go play it.
No, but exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a pinball machine.
Yeah, I mean, if that makes you like cool. Like it's like you set your own goals, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I know a resolution I'm going to make this year.
Do you want to share it? Because now we know.
Next year, I want to beat Roman in ping pong.
Wow.
That's my only resolution.
That's a
okay.
goal.
So let's talk about this.
Okay.
How are you going to follow through on
that? Now, first of all, let's start with why.
Why? Why do you want to beat Roman at ping pong?
Because I can't stand how much better he thinks he is at ping pong.
So it's not,
and he just plays better mind games.
It's not how much better he is; it's how much he thinks he's better.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to knock him down a peg?
Yeah, I do.
What's the
really
difference?
do.
What's the difference between? Let's unpack that. What's the difference between thinking you're better and being better in sports, particularly? What is the difference
between being better and thinking you're better?
Yeah.
Confidence,
the performance,
results. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Simon. I think the conversation can stop right here.
Yeah.
I'm hiring a coach.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because you're gonna need to follow through on this now.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to.
I'm gonna take
take lessons, get some coaching, and then do you want to have like an actual moment where you play each other, or are you gonna wait until you're pretty confident that you're better than him? What would be the more rational way of achieving this resolution?
I'm gonna work with this coach, and I'm going to absolutely destroy Roman in a game of ping pong.
Here's the thing. I think you're touching on. What I think principally is the problem with a lot of resolutions is they're driven by emotion and very little plan.
No, but this one there's a plan. It's good. It's a good goal.
It sounds like she says, I'm basically going to play until I can beat him. I'm that's not a plan.
I'm going to take a coach. That's a plan.
That's a plan. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Meaning if there's a coach, there's going to be a cadence. There's going to be
clear,
more playing.
I'm already very good at ping pong.
Right. You're not starting from scratch.
And so I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take it to the next level. And I think I also
What was that little? What was it, Simon? Can you unpack that one?
It was just the level of intensity in this for ping pong.
Yeah.
And at the end, it is literally trying to take him down a notch.
Yes.
That's the actual.
My business partner.
Like you could just buy a pie and just splat it in his face if you want it.
Not nearly as satisfying.
I mean, just tell me if it's how important it is to you, because I'm sure we can figure something out.
I swear to God.
All right, that's one goal. That's one goal.
All right.
Have we cracked it?
That was a good segue.
I don't know if we cracked it.
You went there.
I think
I saw so much rage in your face when you were talking about this. I think we have a problem here.
Well, we haven't played ping pong in like 8 months because it's too heated.
In a year, probably we haven't played. Yeah.
Would you consider that resolution succeeded if you became a better ping pong player but didn't beat Roman?
No. Absolutely not. And you're right.
That's
falling into your own trap.
That's not a resolution. That's like literally that is a goal.
It's just a vendetta.
It's a vendetta.
That's quite commonly how resolutions are made.
That's a good point. That is a really good point. It's
literally a finish line. It's not you like we all this is the beauty of getting to this point in the conversation is
that's interesting.
This is more truthful to how a lot of people make resolutions. It's off the cuff, it's emotional, and it's
black and white
in a moment, and it's triggered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I feel gross. Yeah. I need to lose weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The app should have locked me out.
Yeah, exactly.
like
we all like to think that we're
you passed the breathalyzer, but your eyes look crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna cut you.
I don't think the app would have led you to do that.
Yeah.
No, because of the reflection thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the reflection is an important part of actually trying to make a resolution that is in fact achievable.
And more to your point earlier, a little bit more thoughtful, more meaningful, more intentional. Yeah, that's why the reflection part is critical.
My other thing too is like when you have everything I've met in life, and it's a sad truth and it took me way too long to realize, is like in a weird way, finish lines don't ever actually lead to real like happiness or satisfaction, if that makes sense.
That's why many entrepreneurs who sell their companies are depressed after that.
Exactly. Like
or champions who get to a big trophy.
It doesn't actually like, you just kind of go like, okay, like it's the habits and everything that actually make you happy and define you and inform kind of where you want to go and stuff like that. And like, I wish like if you are like in your 20s and you're going to make a crazy resolution, generally speaking, like losing those 20 pounds or whatever isn't actually going to make you happy. Sadly, as much as and it's the same with the financial thing. You know what I mean? Like so often you think it's like, it's the raise that'll make me, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And then it's the next one. And then the next one.
And then that unpacks a whole other conversation about our kind of weird relationship with achievements and whether or not they're in service of actually making us happy or they're just something that sort of forces us down the road, which is a whole other conversation that we could unpack if we want.
Well, I think it's interesting. We literally had a conversation with somebody today where she was talking about in life's journeys, the moments that you actually look back on and are most proud of yourself for is not the moment at the end when you achieved it, but the moments in the middle where you powered through even though you didn't want to, or where you got to a point you never thought you'd get to. And like, I mean, you've said the small steps along the way, but I think we're building more structures around that not only reframing the goal itself into less of a metric-based goal, but a more emotion, feeling-based goal, but also in the reflection, not celebrating the outcome, but celebrating like some of those moments, because I think that really changes your perspective on what achievement is and what you've accomplished.
Yeah. I have a special soft spot for I want to try something next year.
A special what?
Like resolutions that I've had, like I look back on and go like, oh, that was a good resolutions, are a lot of times the ones where I'm like, I want to try this.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like you go and try something.
Like play an instrument, like things like
two that come to mind for me was I want to fly a plane. I flew a plane, hated it. Horrible experience. Would not recommend. And another time when I went ice fishing and like my toe almost fell off. But they're both like, I'm so glad I did those two things.
Truly my favorite thing about you is you're like, almost died in quicksand, went ice fishing, lost a toe.
Yeah. I still have I have severe nerve damage of one of my toes because of the frostbite I got to it.
Were you wearing shoes?
I was, but here's the problem: is I was wearing tight boots, and so tight. In fact, I cut off circulation in a cold environment, so my toe basically wasn't getting any blood.
Oh my God.
Just Canadian things.
Just Canadian things.
But that's like another
that's
good resolution of just like, I'm going to try this, because to your point, then there's no like, the success metric is just in the doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like a really great way of, I think, living life, frankly.
Yeah. I mean, we talked on an episode recently, the one that we did also with Alex in Dubai, around the actual meaning of life being not to achieve certain outcomes, but to learn, to just have experiences, to have the curiosity. And I think attaching that concept to resolution making and goals gives you a completely different frame of reference.
Oh, that's interesting. So you use resolutions as a means to constantly, instead of it, it's like if every resolution, and I'm not suggesting this, but if every resolution had to go, this year I want to try to blank.
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Everything is just about trial.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, it doesn't matter how well you do it.
It's doing it.
I was thinking, how would you tell your kids to approach it? And that might be the answer, actually.
Yeah.
Because the kids, something. Unpacking the why and the intention, it's a little more difficult.
Right?
Totally.
Like,
10 years
introspection
old,
is hard when you're
Dad,
10.
Can you just
try
get
something
out of my
new.
face? The try thing is interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Giving your kids like fill in the blank three sentences.
What are you gonna try this
Next year I'm going to try blank.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you set resolutions with your kids?
No. Do you?
Yeah, we sit around the table at some point during that time, not officially, and it pops up at a casual lunch, a family, blah, blah. We're like, what about you?
Yeah.
We try not to make it a whole thing, but we bring it up with my wife and in that time of year when we're just the five of us, between Christmas and New Year's, and looking back a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's funny. I was reading this whole thing, obviously, and all this research too, which is that like the culture of resolutions is weird too, because there's sort of like this cultural moment of resolution, but then now also there is a very much a shared cultural moment of like when everyone's laughing together at how no one achieved it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, so we all got those gym memberships. Ha ha ha.
Even gyms are making fun of you.
Yeah,
for,
exactly.
Like Equinox is like,
Like, there's literally,
they're like, LOL, we just made a bunch of money on you.
Thank you for letting us do this another year. Yeah. But it's crazy. It's interesting.
It's actually, we didn't talk a lot about the sort of like capitalist economy that booms up around resolution making, and whether that's helping or hurting.
The average American who makes a resolution intends to spend $4,700 on it, bringing it to life.
What?
Yeah. 4,700. Yeah. That's how much they plan to spend on making their resolution come true a year.
Isn't that
crazy?
Insane to me.
So there's a huge, like, to your point, like it was funny because I was half expecting one of you to start this with like, well, why should I care? And I was going to be like, well, actually, there's an economic impetus to.
Fair enough. One of us usually does ask that question.
Wait. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. I can find you the stat. I can find you. I don't have it.
I'm not questioning the stat.
I have like a document of like some of the notes, and then I have a far more thorough one.
I'm not questioning the stat. I'm trying to understand the stat. Like, what kind of goal do you set to yourself? Like average? Can you imagine?
Yeah,
like
that's a lot of dosh. And
it's
that's like, and like, is
money.
it like over indexed by some people like who are like, I'm going to spend $20,000 on being like a certified pilot or whatever it is.
Yeah, but
you know
I mean, how many people do you know set that kind of goals? Like we said, most of the goals are like, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to be.
Do you think it's career focused? Do you think that might be it? Like if you bundle in sort of like how much you're willing to spend on your career?
Maybe. I just don't know anyone around me who's like goals were career focused and involved the spend. To me,
curious.
The spend always was around, I'm going to get a coach, I'm going to get a dietitian, I'm going to get like whatever. But
I could make an argument at a younger age if you're like, I want to go to school for blank, I'm like, okay, so that's going to cost a lot of money.
I think it depends.
Yeah.
It depends how the data was collected,
It
to be
does.
honest. Because like I could see a survey where it said, okay, let's say you wanted to lose weight. How much would you be willing to spend to achieve that? If it was like 5,000, 10,000 or 1,000, 5,000, $10,000, I'd be like, I'm willing to spend $5,000 if I could imagine that thing actually coming true. My instinct is like, that's maybe how it was collected. And if you're like envisioning the thing you want happening, you're like, I would drop $5,000 for that. So, but I don't know. It's interesting because I don't know how
I thought the number was big too.
Yeah, no, but people do spend a lot of money to try to achieve the things they want.
Plastic surgery too.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of things that I'm like, oh, I bet there's some high ones that skew the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
okay, that's a good answer.
But that is interesting.
I want to fall in love.
But also,
you could spend a lot of money on trying to fall in love.
Where I was starting this was less around the spend of people and more around the brands that feed into the resolution. Like all the gyms that literally use the moment in time to spike their memberships. And I get it. Good for them. It's a business. I would do the same thing.
Totally.
But in the spirit of this conversation, I'm like, do I think that the economies around it helps or hurts people making and sticking to resolutions?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I couldn't find anything on whether buying a gym membership makes you more likely to follow through on the.
I think it doesn't. I think we know that based on the number of people that
we do.
bail out.
We've had clients in that space. And
Anyway. Yeah, it's just a spike.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The clock turned red.
All right. The clock's turned red. We got 20 seconds left. I'm going to do a quick encapsulation of what we talked about. We talked a lot about, first of all, there was a conversation around treat everything like a game, which is like a thing. And then it got into a deeper thing around motivation and just kind of like what motivates people, what gets people things. I think that the best way to talk about if we cracked it or not is actually through kind of the steps we talked about with the app.
Yeah.
Which is
Resolution Buddy. TM.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, make sure you're in the right head of mind to think about it. Reflect on your year, and then also think deeply about what you actually want to achieve and why being the operative term.
Yep.
And if you have that why, then that's going to make it a lot easier to figure it out. Now, granted, we also went through the exercise of why that can be so tough to do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just deeply want to make a resolution, even if it's not necessarily fully thought out.
Yeah.
Goals, not resolutions, was something that came up. And then I think, frankly, a lot of what we were talking about was like, how do you start to build behavior? Right. Yep. Like it can't be, I want to run 10K. It needs to be, I want to become a runner. Why? Because tomorrow, if you go for a 5-minute run, you're a runner. You were a runner that day. The next day, if you run for 6 minutes, you were a runner that day. Congratulations. You feel that sense of empowerment. You feel that sense of ownership and accomplishment. And that's what powers you on to continue to be a runner. So with all that said, Roman, did we crack it?
We definitely did. We're setting ourselves up right for the year. We cracked it.
We cracked it. Jesse, did we crack it?
I think we definitely did.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll say we cracked it too.
Whoa!
I'll say we cracked it too. We cracked resolution.
100% cracked
That's how you start the New Year's.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah,
we cracked
it. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Crack It in an Hour. Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to another episode of Crack It in an Hour. If you like the show, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you have questions, thoughts, or feedback, shoot us an email at hello@crackitpodcast.com or on Instagram @crackitpodcast. Music done by Michael Anastasi, cover art shot by Mick Mint, and all things audio and video taken care of by Nathan Nash. See you next time.